Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 22nd, and we're going to continue our discussion on action and duty with a prompt from the Daily Stoic, which reads, how can I work better with others? So maybe it's because of the last 2 days of videos, but when I first hear this prompt, I'm immediately reminded of some advice that I remember my father giving me when I was younger. In fact, it had stuck so deeply with me that I even ended up referencing it during the eulogy at his funeral. The irony of it is that despite the clearly exalted status that I placed on it as far as words of wisdom go, I think that I largely and selfishly abandoned it for 15 years following that eulogy. And the message is simple, but so broadly applicable, and that is to meet people at their level. It doesn't matter whether that's in a professional relationship, a personal relationship, or even one with a total stranger. The disposition is the same. It requires that we consistently consider the other person's perspective rather than our own, and then we adjust accordingly. For me to do that correctly required a complete systemic overhaul of my orientation. For many years following my father's death, I became inwardly focused as I looked to satisfy my own needs as a priority. Most of my decisions were based off of what I thought was most important and most relevant in that moment to me. It was very difficult to truly be empathetic with others when I was unwilling to meet people at their level, as he instructed. To be clear, this is still very much a work in progress. And as with any adjusted behavior, after awareness and desire for change has been generated, a conscious effort at repetition has to be made. With enough time and frequency, I find my more natural inclination realigning to where I want it to be. And that's why you hear me saying things in these videos like community over self, over and over again, day after day. The primary and intended audience for that message isn't you, it's me. And to many, that constant reminder might not be as necessary, but I'm trying to undo years of selfish, ego-driven, habitual behaviors. So for me, when I reflect on what contributes to that transformation, clearly all 4 of the Stoic virtues play a part, those being wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. But one stands out above the others. Temperance, or self-discipline, moderation, self-control. That's something that has been so essential to my improving ability to meet people at their level. When you realize how little you yourself actually need, when you can separate yourself from desire, when you don't operate in the extremes, you create that space and flexibility to prioritize others' needs first. You don't have to constantly feed your ego. So I still revert back to my previous ways more often than I'd like, and it doesn't always feel natural. But when I do get it correct, it does feel right, and I know that my dad was onto something. It reminds me of some rules that Dale Carnegie published way back in 1936 in his unfortunately titled book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. They may seem common sense to many, but I think they're sound concepts for us to remember. So I'll just close with these rules. Number 1, become genuinely interested in other people. Number 2, smile. Number 3, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Number 4, be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Number 5, talk in terms of other people's interests. Number 6, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. And if we're able to do all of that, we'll find ourselves in a very good position to follow my dad's advice and meet people at their level. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.